Hold it. Now it is clear. So now let us see metals and non-metals. So we have to study two properties in this chapter. One is physical properties. Physical properties, and another is chemical properties. We have to study the physical properties as well as the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Physical properties mainly related to producing sound, burning, heating, passing electricity, all those are related with it. So electricity is chemical property. Signing, so whether the sign or not. So chemical properties is mainly related to reaction. So let us first of all see the physical properties. We will divide the first metals. Metals and non-metals. Metals and non-metals. So metals first. If we see that metals are shiny, the metals shine too much. They shine too much. So we call them metals. So they are luster. Luster means shine. So metals they shine too much. Like example, potassium, sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, etc. So metals shine, but non-metals they do not shine. So they are non-luster. But there is one exception. In metals, there is one metal which do not shine. Okay? It shine a little bit, but still we put it in the except mercury. Not mercury, it is lead. Sorry, it is lead, Pb. And in non-metal, there is some exception which shine, like iodine. Iodine is a non-metal which shine too much. Again, there is an allotrope of carbon also. Allotrope means different form of carbon. Different form of carbon like diamond. And there is one more allotrope of carbon which is graphite. So iodine, diamond and graphite. So these are three non-metals which shine, and others non-metals they do not shine. And in case of metal, all the metals they shine except lead. Lead doesn't shine. Now let us see whether on heating they produce ringing sound or not. So metals, whenever we heat the metals, they produce a ringing sound. Like continuous ringing. Okay. So we call them, they are sonorous. Sonorous. So sonorous meaning it is ringing sound. So this board. So board, when we hit the board, it is also producing sound. But board is made up of non-metal. No, it is made up of non-metal. But still it is producing sound. But the sound is not ringing sound. Yes or no? But when we hit the school bell, then the school bell continuously ring. Yes or no? Or cycle bell. Like so, we call the ringing sound as a sonorous. So all metals, they are sonorous. So except mercury. The symbol it is Hg. While non-metals, they are non-sonorous. There is no other metal, non-metal, which does produce ringing sound. Now, if you see about the physical state, third number we will look about the physical state, whether the metals are solid, liquid, or gas. So, metals, so they are mostly, they are generally solid. Metals are generally solid. All the metals, all are what? Solid. But there is only one metal which is not solid. So it is except it is mercury, which is mercury is a liquid at room temperature. So right now, if we bring the mercury and place it outside, it is a room temperature, then it will remain liquid. But other metals like potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, all they are what? They are solid. In case of non-metal, they are mostly solid and gas. So non-metals are mostly solid and gas. So for the solid, we can see carbon. Okay, carbon. So carbon is a solid. Again, for the gas, we can say chlorine, hydrogen, oxygen. Yes or no? So all those are gas. So except there is one exception here, which is not solid nor gas, it is liquid. So that is bromine. So bromine, it is Br symbol. So bromine is a liquid at room temperature. Bromine is a liquid at room temperature. So we have got the three characteristics or properties of metals and non-metals. We have to go more now. Let us see about the ductility, whether or malleability. Whether we can, when we hit the metal, when we beat the metal, no? The metal can be beaten into thin sheet or not, chapter. Okay. So when we heat the metal, so metals, they can be beaten into thin sheet. That is malleable. So when we beat the metals, okay, then they will become what? Malleable. They will become chapter flat. Okay, but there is one or two metals, when we heat them, then they will not become thin sheet. They will not become a sheet. They will directly break down. Okay, they will break into pieces. We call it brittle. So, like which can be beaten in thin sheets, like aluminium foil. Listen, when we buy pakora, chow mein, they give the packet or not, shining paper. So that is aluminium paper. So this aluminium paper is brought into thin paper, thin sheet. Listen, so that is the property of the aluminium metal, that it can be beaten into thin sheet. Now, if we look about the roof, our roof contains what? Tin. I don't know. There, it is also beaten into thin sheet. They are also flat. Again, if we look about the some vehicles, so their body are also flat. Yes or no? So that is also made by the property of malleable property. So, except your lead, that is PB, except lead. Okay, there is only one metal which cannot be beaten into thin sheet, that is lead. So lead is brittle. So when you heat the lead metal, so it will break into pieces. Okay. While if we say about the non-metals, they are not malleable. So non-metals are not malleable, as they are solid. So when we heat the solid non-metals, then they will break down, like carbon. In short, we can think about the charcoal. After burning the firewood, we find out the ashes. Yes or no? Charcoal. So that charcoal, when we heat it with the hammer, then they will break into pieces. Yes or no? So that means they are not malleable. Again, gases. So we cannot heat the gas. Can we heat the gas? We cannot heat the gas. So how can gas be the malleable? So gas is also non-malleable. So next, last, that is metals. They are ductile. Ductile means can be drawn into thin wire. Okay. So with the help of the metal, we can make wires. We have wires. We have rod here. Yes or no? These rods, they are ductile property. Okay. They are beaten into thin sheet, and after that they are pulled to a longer distance. So now if we see one node is here. What is the node? That with the help of 1 gram of gold, 1 gram of gold, with 1 gram of gold, we can make a wire of how much kilometer? We can make a wire of 2 kilometer range. 2 kilometer wire we can make with 1 gram of gold. So that means the most ductile property of the metal is gold. There are some other metals also. Like with 1 gram of aluminium we cannot make 2 kilometer. It will be less than 2 kilometer. 1 gram of iron cannot be more than 2 kilometer or 2 kilometer. It will be always less than 2 kilometer. There is only one metal which becomes 2 kilometer, that is gold. So gold, 1 gram of gold we can make up to 2 kilometer. Okay. So that is why, since the gold has the property, it can be drawn into wires, and gold is a metal and they are what? Luster also. Yes or no? That means they give shining also. So therefore we use the gold as a what? Jewelry. Yes or no? That is why we use the gold as a jewelry. And if you see about the non-metals, they are non-ductile. Yeah, non-ductile. So we cannot make wire with the help of non-metals. Can you note it down?